Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Everyone checking in on the MJ space. So looking at CGC, we had a daily inside bar today and a great opportunity for a bottom fish off of the low of Friday's support. So the daily RSI is still oversold down at 26.27. The 4-hour time frame, we're still watching the exponential resistance, which has rejected the price essentially 6 days in a row. If we see a daily inside bar bull break over 25.47, the high of today, then we will look at that exponential moving average to become support for the first time. On the hourly time frame, it was a bit of a tightening range where we had the high of the day, the low of the day, and then a lower high and tightening range formed. So what happened was a bottom fishing play, and I actually lucked out on this one because I entered on the bottom fishing play where our key support was 24.39. We dropped down with the 5-minute time frame getting oversold, and I made an entry as soon as 24.50 broke. I entered, and my stop was 24.35 or so. Then we had news come out that the DEA was expanding their research with marijuana, which is a couple decades late, but it was a bullish reaction in the market. Didn't break the high of the day, so we didn't see a short squeeze. Definitely some short-term shorts got squeezed, and that allowed me a very quick day maker to scale out that position, and I still have a swing position that's much smaller, but that I'm looking to try and see follow through for a daily lower high to form once we get a break of the pattern of a lower high every single day, which we've seen for 9 days in a row. So if you look on the 5-minute time frame and you look at all the made Canadian MJ names at 10:15, you will see correlation to this move as the bots in the algo trading all synced up on this news. Didn't see a ton of follow through, but it was enough to certainly impact the short term. And from there, we just saw a tightening range. And tomorrow, it's all about the daily inside bar. Can we break the pattern of a lower high every single day for the last 9 days? 25.47 is that level. Cron dropped down to lower lows as well, but did see an oversold bounce take place here. We dropped down to 11 psychological, which was the only support level nearby. The hourly time frame cooling off RSI, and a very nice 7% bounce off of that low. Is this just an oversold bounce, or can we get follow through? That remains to be seen. We have to see the hourly higher low and higher high to change the trend, so we have to break the high of today tomorrow for that bounce to be underway. Anything under 12.25, just a lower high on the daily time frame. ACB responded one of the best to the news coming out. Also dropped to a lower low, but also got that bounce going. So you can see the complete turnaround that ACB and Cron had, where they were extremely beat up, and it does look like that it caught short-term shorts by surprise. 553 up to 583, so very significant 5-6% move. And same thing, hourly trend has to change with a higher low and higher high tomorrow. And then we zoom out and just look for a lower high compared to 620. Or actually 620 is the key daily lower high resistance. It's possible that the bulls could break that level, but they have to prove something. They have to change the daily trend. Cron and ACB are not close to changing the daily trend as this move is coming off of the low. That's why we're just looking for lower highs to be set. APHA got some further drop. And now we're looking for the daily higher low to form. Anything above 583 is that daily higher low. So bulls have to hold 583, change the hourly trend back in their favor for the higher low on the daily to be set, and then break 680 to change the daily trend and confirm that the weekly higher low has been established. So that's what we're looking for, and I am interested in APHA here. At this point, maybe a bottom fishing play off of 622 tomorrow, but again, the hourly trend has to change, and we're just looking for an hourly lower high to form on the bounce that took place this afternoon. TLRY continuing to show weakness. Anything under 32.40 is just a lower high, and we're continuing to drop down to lower highs and lower lows. 27.83 short-term support. If the bulls can break the high of today, tomorrow, it's all about 32.40. Still very weak with strong bears. VFF, I'm interested here as well. I did enter a position today, and I entered a position bottom fishing off of the low of the day. We saw the low, high, higher low, higher high, and then we pulled all the way back. This is where I made my entry, and I was looking, made an entry in the mid to upper 1070s, and my stop was under 1060. And the reason being, the daily time frame very extended with 6 red days in a row. The 4-hour RSI is the biggest reason, and that's because the 4-hour RSI is 22. And if you look back historically over the last 2 years, what happens when the RSI hits low 20s? We bounce. So that's enough for me to be confident enough to be scaling into a position. I will enter one more position in the low $10 range if the weakness continues. And at this point, the bounce is going to be dependent on whether or not CGC can get the bounce going, in my opinion. I think there's enough correlation with CGC still with a lot of these names that daily oversold bounce has to take place. So look at the hourly exponential resistance on VFF. Very similar to CGC 4-hour. Just 4 days in a row, rejecting from that resistance level. And the bulls have to change the hourly trend with a higher low and a break of 1106 and 1122 tomorrow to get the daily bounce going. And again, we'll just be looking for a lower high compared to 1322. Just short-term trades looking for daily bounces. T-God, daily higher low is trying to form. 311 and 312, double bottom. Bulls have to break 320 for the daily higher low to be set. And then it's all about 332 as the bulls try and change the daily trend with a higher low and a higher high. T-God definitely standing out comparative to other names with a little bit of strength. USMJ sector, let's start with OH and CL. They stood out as a very clear lead bull in this space. Look at the day OH had, and it's after dropping to lower lows. And look at the hourly chart. Just V-shaped recovery. Something's up, without a doubt. 780 is resistance. You know, people speculating maybe it's news of the DOJ approving the deal. I have no idea, but all I know is that is a very unusual bounce. Normally, I'd look for a bounce back to $7 or $7.10, and here we see a 12% bounce from the low of the day with no cool off and a close at the high of the day. OH does have earnings on the 29th, but that's far enough away that I don't think that's what it is. So we need an hourly trend change with a higher low and higher high to see follow through, but the daily chart is looking back up at 780 and trying to set a weekly higher low and shift this weekly momentum with continuation. CL also seeing green and closing at the high of the day. Short-term resistance is 1164. And then we're looking back at the high. And again, same thing. Weekly, well, it's not very clear here. But a shift in momentum trying to go back to the bulls. Have to see follow through, or if it's just a fluke and a one-day event, that'll be clear tomorrow. CURA dropped to a lower low on the daily time frame, giving back the entirety of the bull move from the deal announcement a month or 6 weeks ago. 802 is the only support level nearby. We dropped to 816 today. Anything under 903 is just a lower high. Bears are really comfortable in Cura at this point. CWeb, also weak, also breaking to lower lows. 2308 broke. Again, monthly equilibrium is now absolutely the most likely scenario. With such a wide range and 100% bounce, the lower high has been set, and we're now looking for a monthly higher low compared to 1465. Daily time frame, a clear downtrend. Anything under 2580, just a lower high. Next support level is 2262. And we actually just dropped to that level, so 22 psychological comes next. For everybody that missed the CWeb bull move over June and July, the massive bull move, if you like the fundamentals of this company, this is your chance to be scouting that monthly higher low for an entry. TRUL, still weak as well. Bulls did hold the low of 1023 support, but we have to see a break of 10, make that 1145 to change this daily momentum. If we can't break 1145, the Bears keep complete control. IAN, earnings tomorrow pre-market. We did see some buying at the end of the day. Looked like it might have been short covering. Not really sure who's going to be loading up heading into earnings with how the sector has been reacting to earnings recently. But on the daily time frame, and actually it's the 4-hour chart that I'm watching, 4-hour 343 break was notable. But anything on the daily chart, again, even if it's a bullish reaction and we go 10%, we're just looking for a daily lower high compared to 395. At this point, the bulls are just trying to defend support. As far as going on offense, it's going to take a while. MedMen pulling back. So the equilibrium is now the more likely scenario, where we have the low, high of the bull move, higher low, lower high, and we're scouting a higher low compared to 241. And we close at the low of the day, so the Bears have momentum in their favor. So that's where we stand. The news about the DEA expanding research, not really a big deal for me personally. Honestly, it's, like I said, it's a little late. And it's almost like, I don't know. I didn't care for that news, but the algos reacted to it very quickly. So we're patiently waiting. Can the S&P 500 stay afloat, which it did a good job of doing so today? Can CGC get its daily oversold bounce going? If it does, I believe VFF is going to follow. Those are the two names that I'm most interested in this week. And we'll see how IAN earnings go. We'll see if OHCL get followed through tomorrow, which would tell us something's definitely up. If they don't, then it could just be a little fluke or who knows what. But that's what I'm watching this week. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on in the space. APHA, of course, as well, watching for the daily higher low to try and form and the potential entry for that higher low. So hope you had a good day. Not going to end it here with any clips, but I'll attach a little Chart Guys documentary in the comments here. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Do good things.